Methodical. Right now, police agencies across the US and UK are buying and deploying AI systems faster than they can govern them. Facial recognition is running live in public spaces, making immediate decisions that touch people's liberty. Systems like automated license plate readers, predictive patrol models, and body camera analytics are already on the streets. These tools aren't theoretical anymore, and the compliance clock is ticking. For federal agencies, the Office of Management and Budget has set a hard deadline. By April 2026, under Memorandum M2521, agencies must document risk management practices for their high-impact AI. To meet that deadline, and to ensure these tools operate safely at the local or state level, you need a structured set of rules. Today, we're going to build a concrete 7-point AI accountability framework. The underlying premise of this framework is simple. You do not need to write the algorithm to govern it. You need to control the conditions under which it runs. Step 1. Pre-deployment audit. No AI goes live without an algorithmic impact assessment. Filed publicly, it explicitly tracks training data lineage, accuracy across demographics, and identifies the worst-case failure mode for the people it impacts. Step 2 targets the contract itself. Every procurement agreement must include a strict vendor transparency clause. The DOJ Inspector General found that even the FBI couldn't always verify what was inside the AI tools they bought. The vendors invoked trade secret protections to hide their algorithms. Your transparency clause must put public disclosure ahead of intellectual property. The vendor must disclose model architecture, training data summaries, and known limitations. If they refuse, the agency walks away. If you are prevented from seeing a model's architecture and its training data, you cannot possibly take responsibility for the decisions it makes in the field. Step 3. Daily operations. We must redesign the human-in-the-loop workflow. The most common point of failure here is treating the human as a rubber stamp. The default workflow penalizes overrides with paperwork, so officers just click accept. The secure workflow requires reviewing the output and documenting rejections. If a unit has a 100% acceptance rate, that requires supervisor intervention, not an efficiency win. Officers must document every time they override the system, and your workflow must actually reward that pushback, making it the preferred action when an output looks wrong. Search engines return web pages. AI tools return judgments. Because the AI acts like a partner, building friction directly into the workflow is a necessary safety feature. This bar chart from a recent audit of 50 U.S. departments shows that 68% of predictive policing models exhibited racial bias above 22%. This brings us to Step 4, mandating annual bias audits. You cannot rely on a vendor's static day-one benchmark. These audits must be city-specific, conducted every single year, and they must track disparity ratios broken out by race, sex, age, and neighborhood. Step 5 is establishing an independent oversight body. This requires 3 voices from outside the agency: a Civil Liberties Council, a community representative, and a technical expert. Step 6 is plain language public reporting. Publish an annual report detailing how often these tools produced an action that touched a person, how often it was wrong, and exactly how those errors were addressed. Finally, Step 7 applies sunset clauses. Every AI tool gets a hard 3-year expiration date before requiring renewal. Renewal requires fresh audits and community input. With those controls in place, you now have a complete foundational policy ready for legal review. These final 4 steps act as an ongoing accountability loop. They guarantee that no tool is ever allowed to operate on autopilot. Over 2 decades in the Army and at the DoD Office of Inspector General, I've watched what happens when good tools meet weak controls. The problem is never the tool. The problem is assuming the tool will govern itself. Before you deploy any system, leadership must be able to answer 3 questions. First, what exactly does this tool decide? Second, who is directly accountable when it decides wrong? And third, how will the agency know if the tool makes the wrong decision against the exact same people every time? If you can't answer those, you aren't ready to deploy. We are training AI to assist officers, not replace them, and assist is a verb that requires a human at the center of the action. AI will not govern itself. We will. Our job is not to build the AI. Our job is to keep it honest.